5 things about America that I miss, I would say, starting with food, because I love food, tomatoes. So I miss a really good tomato. I was talking to my sister this summer, and she was telling me about her tomato sandwich that she was making with a little Duke's mayonnaise, the only kind of mayonnaise for a tomato sandwich. And I just wanted to cry. I really, really miss a good tomato sandwich, a good tomato. Of course, we get tomatoes here. They grow a lot of tomatoes here in greenhouses. But I don't know if it's the variety or the way they grow them. They just don't have any flavor. They're not that good. And along with tomatoes, I would say corn. You get kind of one variety of corn here. I think of it as the kind of corn you get out of a can of corn. You don't have the white corns. You don't have the butter and sugar corn. You don't have all the different sweetness levels of yellow corn. You just don't have that variety that I'm accustomed to, and I think makes corn delicious. So tomatoes and corn. The second thing, kind of in the vein of food, is a farmer's market. I really miss my farmer's market. Every town I've lived in the States, I would go to the farmer's market on the weekends. I just love seeing what the small farmers have and supporting the small farmers, and you just don't have that here. If you go to Helsinki, there's a big town square, and there'll be all these stalls, and they are selling some fruits and vegetables, but I don't think they're really small farmers. I think it's kind of like a hay market situation where it's just what you buy in the grocery store, except it's being sold out on the square for a little cheaper. So I haven't found a farmer's market, and when I've talked to people about farmers markets, people here, they just tell me that's not something they do, and I wish they would. So I do miss the farmer's market. The third thing that I miss about the States is the kind of go-for-it attitude that I think we have in the States. So if you have some harebrained idea, people around you will tell you to go for it. Like, why not? See what happens. The worst that happens is it doesn't work. Big deal. So it really is a creative and encouraging atmosphere to be in, and you don't quite get that here. It's much more traditional, and they have their established ways of, building a boat or brewing beer. So you don't get kind of just like crazy combinations of things. You do get, say, a sour beer, but I think that idea really came from the States. If you present a kind of crazy idea, sometimes you get the response of, well, we tried that, it didn't work. Or that's not the way it's done, that's not the way we do it. So it's not so encouraging trying out ideas that deviate from how things have traditionally been done. Recording? Okay, so for number 4 and 5, we've moved locations. We're looking out towards Sweden. So for number 4, I would say I miss Southern hospitality. Now that's particular to a part of the States, but I grew up in the South, and I'm used to that really warm, welcoming culture. I remember walking through my neighborhood, and it was around 5 o'clock, and I walked by the Ike's place, and they're having cocktail because it's cocktail hour, and they're like, Jessica, come on to the porch and have a cocktail. And I love that. You go to the hardware store, the local hardware store, and they're interested in your project, and they want to hear all about it, and they have all these suggestions, things you could do, just really warm and friendly, welcoming kind of atmosphere. So it's not to say that people aren't helpful here. They are. If you go to the hardware store, they do help. They do engage with you. I'm not saying that, but it's just not at the same warmth level and welcoming level as in the South. It's a little more of an introverted culture here. So number 5 would be my family and friends. I haven't been back to the States since several years. COVID didn't help. And I really miss just interacting with my family and being with my family. I'm not great at communicating on the phone. I'm pretty bad, I'll be honest. And I don't know, I like face-to-face interactions. I get charged by that. And Zoom and phone calls, I find them kind of draining. So I'm just not motivated to do them. So I do miss hanging out with my sisters and seeing my aunts and having that kind of interaction. And then with friends, it being a insular kind of community, because it's an island community, which I think is pretty common to islands. It's not so easy to make friends. And then layered on top of that, you have the fact that it's Finland and it's a introverted society. So it just makes it much harder to make friends. In fact, I would say that all my friends come from other countries. And if you come here, a joke you'll guaranteed to hear is, how can you tell an extroverted Finn from an introverted Finn? The extroverted Finn stares at your shoes, not his own. So it's not the easiest society to kind of break into and make friends. And people, they enjoy being on their own much more, and they kind of expect others around them to be very comfortable with being on their own. So it just makes it a little harder to make friends here. So family and friends, that would be the 5th thing. So those are 5 things about America that I miss. And in my next video, I think I'll do something about food, different kinds of food that are unique to Finland or unique to Scandinavia. Okay, until next time.